just a reminder what Greg Berhalter has achieved compared to previous rosters, of course, making it through to the round of 16. They were looking to make it to the quarterfinals for the first time since 2002, Casey. Greg Berhalter's future, I'm surprised to hear Herc saying that he won't be in charge. Well, he doesn't think he'll be in charge for 2026. Are you on the same page?
Well, what we were talking about on Football Americas was I know Greg well. We've been friends a long, long time. And Greg's the type of guy that really wants to be on the pitch every day. And, you can't do that with a national team. You have such large stretches where, you're not in contact with your players. So there's a part of me that thinks that potentially Greg would want to go back to coaching a club. I have no inside information on this. Greg and I haven't talked about it, but knowing Greg the way I know Greg, I could see him looking at Jesse Marsch and going, yeah, I might like a little bit of that. And I know he had his opportunity in Sweden. It didn't quite work out, and I'm sure he'd love to go back to Europe and see if he can to make it happen. But in the end, there's only so much you can do, and somebody has to be phoning you and saying, "Hey, we want you to coach our team." So I'm sure Greg will look at whatever options come his way, and I personally, I know some of the fans are a little bit frustrated, but again, I'll reiterate: you had 2 goals, you achieved both those goals. I don't know what more a coach can do.
Does what Casey said make sense?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, there's nothing more fulfilling than stepping on the field every day and being involved with the players. I mean, obviously winning is big time, but it's just what you are. Greg's been a football player all his life. Now he's a coach. When it's what you do, I can't imagine going through 3 or 4 months when you just go and watch games for the sake of it. I would hate to have that job. I really would. So,
isn't that your job now?
No, but there's no. But I get to talk about it.
Right.
I get to talk about it 2 hours after the game's finished.
Right.
What does he do? Go home and tell the wife. Well, that's what he does.
When you love what you do, and you're,
the only downside is I've got to talk to you.
Yeah, smarty pants.
I think when you're a coach, you want to have the feeling that you handle everything. And being a national team coach, you have the guys coming and going, and you have to deal with some players, with the injury, with the clubs and everything. You have only 3 days to prepare most of the time. You handle nothing.
Right. You're not doing anything. You can't work on it. All right, maybe a set piece or 2. But what else are you going to do?
Yeah. They should play for free. They should work for free.
Oh, you think so?
Well, they do nothing. Is what.
That's it. We'll say thank you very much. So what happens, Seb Herc? Do you come home now? What happens?
No, we don't want you anymore.
Do we come home? What's going on here? No, I have to actually. I have to see Nademoff in a few days, which will be very difficult for me on a emotional level. What? And then I welcome Shaka Hislop to the apartment here in Doha. So no, we're going to be doing Football Americas every day through the end of the World Cup.
Did you catch what Frank said about '98? Wow. All the U.S. need is Zinedine Zidane, Thierry Henry, and Trezeguet, and they're good to go for a World Cup.
Perfect comparison, Frank. Perfect comparison.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.